Go to the script folder, right click and create a C# script called shadow. Double click to open this in Visual Studio. Remove the start and update function. Now create a serialized field material called shadow material. Create another serialized field private vector 2 called shadow offset. Create protected sprite renderer called sprite renderer. Protected game object, shadow game object. Protected sprite renderer, shadow sprite renderer. Now create a start function. Inside this function, give the reference to a sprite renderer. Our shadow game object is equal to a new game object, shadow 2D. Make sure to write the same name. Also write shadow sprite renderer is equal to shadow game object dot component sprite renderer, and shadow sprite renderer dot sprite is equal to sprite renderer dot sprite, and shadow sprite renderer dot material is equal to shadow material, and shadow sprite renderer dot sorting layer name is equal to sprite renderer dot sorting layer name, and shadow sprite renderer dot sorting order is equal to sprite renderer dot sorting order. Also add shadow game object dot transform dot parent is equal to game object dot transform, and shadow game object dot transform dot local scale is equal to vector 3.1, and shadow game object dot transform dot rotation to game object dot transform dot rotation, and shadow game object dot transform dot position is equal to game object dot transform dot position plus vector 3 shadow offset. Save the script and go back to the editor. Now select all the joints and add the shadow script. Create a folder called material. Here, right click to create a material. Rename it called shadow. Now select GUI text shadow. Choose the color and alpha and select the joints and add a material here. Set the Y offset to -0.07. Now it's time to create a tile where our stickman can jump. So right click in the hierarchy, create a game object, rename it to tile. Reset the transform. Now add a sprite rendered component. Choose this tile image. Resize it to 0.5. Now add a shadow script here and Y offset value to -0.07 and choose this material and test.